Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this video, we are going to be playing another round of my TBR game, Scrabble Picks My TBR. If this is your first time watching my TBR game, first of all, welcome. I will link a video where I go over the rules and the card up above. This is a pretty simple TBR game. Basically, I'm going to spell 5 words in a game of Scrabble, and those 5 words will act as prompts to help me decide what I'm going to read this month. First of all, let's talk about how I did with my August TBR. Now, I still have a few days left in August at the time of filming. I did read all the books on my August TBR except for The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which I'm still reading. However, I definitely think I can finish this with the days left in the month, so I'm gonna count this as a win. I'm confident in my ability to finish that book before the month is over. So that means I have surpassed my goal of 150 points, and I'm going to start this month with a clean Scrabble board, and my points will reset to 0. I think that's about it for my intro. I don't think I forgot to mention anything, so let's jump to the first TBR pick. All right, the board is reset for this month, and that means I get to start by drawing 7 new tiles. A, G, U, E, R, 2, N, and lastly, Q. The first word is going to be range, and so I'm going to randomly generate 2 numbers, and then I'm going to find a book where the total number of pages is within that range. Yep. So I randomly generated 2 numbers between 100 and 900. And what I ended up getting was 435 and 530. So for the first prompt, range, I generated 2 random numbers and I'm going to read a book within that page range. The numbers I got were 435 and 530. And I think the book that I'm going to select for this prompt is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which according to Goodreads is 521 pages. This is a Victorian classic, and a classic that I've really been interested in reading for a while now. I mentioned it in my top 10 classics I want to read video that I made last year. I heard this book described as the socialist version of Pride and Prejudice. And the reason it's been described as such is because this book contains a hate-to-love romance, and the main male character is, I believe, the owner of a factory, so it does discuss social issues and the conditions of workers. The basic plot of this book is that a young woman named Margaret moves to the north of England in this fictional city called Milton, which is based off of Manchester. Very excited to read this one. I was planning to get it from my library, but it seems like they actually don't have a copy, so I might go to Barnes & Noble this week to buy one if I can't make it to Barnes & Noble this week or they don't have a copy in stock. Then I guess I'll just read this online with Project Gutenberg. I think I would like a physical copy though, so I can take some books to Gram Picks. And if I love it as much as I think I will, then maybe I'll want to reread it someday. S X I Y what's upside down? T. Quest? A book with a quest in it. There's one in particular that I have in mind. Yeah, and because it has the triple letter on the Q, I mean, that's great. So that's 30 here, plus there's a triple letter on the T, so 33, 34, 35, 36. And I also realized I didn't tell you how much range is. That doesn't have anything special, so it's 3, 5, 6. All right, but man, the 36-point word, that's really gonna help me out in terms of the points here. Next, a book with a quest in it. I spelled this prompt with a specific book already in mind, and that is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. I really need to keep reading The Lord of the Rings. I read The Fellowship of the Ring what feels like a long time ago. I don't remember when exactly it was, and I need to continue on with the series. I also know my dad will be really happy because he loves The Lord of the Rings, and he bought me the series because he wanted me to read it so badly. I do have some regrets because I was hoping my library would have an audiobook for this so I could alternate between reading it physically and listening to some of the chapters on audiobook. Turns out they don't have an audiobook, so that's not gonna happen. But I do really need to read this, so I think it's good that I still put it on the TBR because then that's one thing I can check off my reading to-do list. I feel like I don't need to give a plot description for this book. Like, everybody pretty much has an idea what this series is about. It's the most famous fantasy series of all time. This is book 2 out of 3, so finally going to attempt to read this in September. I'm kind of upset that there's no audiobook. Maybe I can find one on YouTube. I don't know. I think having the audiobook might help me get through the book faster. I did like the first book. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I didn't love it as much as other people. And my dad also told me that the first book is the best one, which makes me a bit nervous, so we'll see. Why again? N? R? V. Goodness. The only thing I can think of is try. And so for this prompt, I will do a try a chapter tag to pick out one of my reads for this month. That's the only word I can think of at the moment, to be honest. But, you know, a try a chapter tag could be fun, so I guess it's not the worst thing that could happen. Next, for the prompt try, I am going to film a try a chapter video and then read whatever book I pick from that video. I haven't yet decided every book that I'm going to read the first chapter of in that video, but I can tell you a little bit about my ideas and then you can watch that video when it comes out to see what I end up selecting. My plan for this try a chapter video is to read the first chapter of several historical mysteries so I can find another historical mystery series to start. Within the last year and a half, I've really been into historical mysteries. It's one of my new favorite genres to read because I love historical fiction and I love mysteries. So combine them in one and I am a very happy camper. Now, most historical mysteries are series, and sometimes it's hard for me to find the initiative to start a new series because it is a commitment, but I do love historical mysteries, and once you find a series you really enjoy, and there's like 10 books in that series for you to devour, that's a great feeling. I am definitely in this video going to read the first chapter of Dissolution by C.J. Sansom because I own this book, so I'm definitely going to try this in the video. I think I'm also going to read the first chapter of Crocodile on the Sandbank, which is the first of the Amelia Peabody mysteries, because I have heard great things about this series. The first book came out in the 1970s, and I've just heard it described as a really great historical mystery series, a historical mystery classic, if you will. And my library does have this book on Libby, so on the app I will be able to read the first chapter. I'm not sure what other books I'm going to try in the video because a lot of the ones I looked up on the Libby app they don't have, so I think I'm just going to go on Amazon because Amazon does let you take a peek inside the book and see what I can read on there. I don't buy books on Amazon, but I have definitely used that sneak peek feature many times just to get a feel for the writing style of a book before buying it. So just tune into that video to see what books I end up trying and which one I pick. E. E. I think I want to switch some of these. So I'm going to use that first star tile, put that back in the box, and then I'm going to switch out these three. So I'll leave them here on the floor and redraw for 3 letters, and then I'll put them back in the bag after I picked my 3 new letters. Okay. A. F. Okay. I could spell freak, but I don't know how that would work as a prompt. So I feel like this should work. Nine? It's not a lot of points, but I think that could work as a prompt because I can try to find a book that has 9 letters in the title, or, you know, I could do the 9th book on my TBR. I don't know, but I feel like that would be okay for a prompt. I think I can work with that. Now, a book with 9 letters in the title. I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to place a hold for The Island by Adrian McKinty. This is a recent thriller release, and I really was not expecting to be able to get my hands on a copy from the library this soon. I did have to reserve the large print edition, but hey, like, there was a copy available, no one wanted it, so works for me. So this is a thriller that follows a Blended family. The main character, Heather, has recently married her husband, Tom, who is older than her and has 2 kids. So the family goes on a trip to Australia and they decide that they are going to take a day trip to this very remote island where things quickly go wrong. I read The Chain by Adrian McKinty and really enjoyed it. It was not quite a 5-star read, but I did think it was entertaining and I enjoyed it overall, so I am interested to see what this author's new book is going to be like. D. L. O. Dark. So that would be, this is on the triple letter, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 points. So for this one, I'm just gonna go with something with a dark cover. Could also be dark themes, dark in the title. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. Finally, for the prompt dark, I ultimately decided to go with The Shape of Darkness by Laura Purcell. This is a historical fiction set in Victorian era Bath, and the main character, Agnes, is a miniature portrait artist, a silhouette artist. Agnes is struggling to keep her business afloat now that photography is introduced into society and on the rise. And then her clients start dying. Someone is murdering multiple clients of hers and she doesn't know why. So she enlists the help of a young girl named Pearl who claims to have psychic abilities. This will be my first time reading a book by Laura Purcell. I know she writes a lot of historical fiction books with vaguely gothic vibes, so I'll be interested to see if she is an author I will enjoy. This also is a nice short read, so that's always good. So those are this month's prompts, and these are the letters that I will be carrying over to next month's TBR. So these are my September TBR picks. I will be reading The Two Towers, The Shape of Darkness, The Island, North and South, plus whatever I pick out in that Try a Chapter video. Make sure to watch that when it comes out to find out which book I pick. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every single Wednesday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an enchanting rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.